Good. Okay. You guys, welcome.
Where's your diaper cream? Because you probably had some needs.
Welcome to our team call.
Some of that, eh? Yes, I should have brought it with me.
Looking for the diaper cream. We're happy you guys are here. We have some really fun stuff to talk about tonight. So the last 4-ish calls, we've talked about vital behaviors. If you guys have any questions about any of that, you know you can ask anytime on the team page or to your coach or to one of us anytime. But tonight, we are going to be talking about, first of all, I know we put so much emphasis on Success Club and challenge packs, and that is really the meat and potatoes of our business, and it's something that we talk about all the time because it is the driver. And not only is it the driver and what is recognized most throughout the corporate setting and the team setting, it's also the best bang for your buck for our customers, which is where that all started. So obviously if you bought Beachbody on Demand, you're going to spend a lot more money. So it just makes sense when you're inviting somebody into a challenge group, you want to put them in on the total package. However, it's going to come to light that, you know, how often we're getting the cost objection and how often we're hearing from you guys that we're getting the cost objection. So we were just talking about how to better serve not only our customers, but also our businesses going forward. And we want to just empower you guys. And I feel like I have not set the best example here because I know when I'm in a conversation with somebody and I send all the details about a challenge pack and they say, no, thank you, you know, that's just too much for me right now. I try to combat the objection with trying to showcase how much value there is in the challenge pack. And then that's all. And then I re-invite them. Instead, what we want to encourage you guys to do is just get them started with something. Because at the end of the day, what I've seen in my business is the people who end up trying something, and it hasn't even come from me, but say they get a little glimpse in a free group that I ran in the past or whatever, a lot of times they end up buying in after that. Then they want the challenge pack. They want the big bang for their buck. But if they don't ever get to see the behind the scenes of like Tribe, for example, then they're not going to know what they're missing out on. So there's a lot of things you can get somebody started with that's going to build commission for you right out the gate. So rather than it being a no and maybe a yes down the road, maybe it's a yes right now and it might be a little bit less commission, but a little less commission is better than no commission. And the ultimate goal is, let's say you're talking to somebody who drinks Arbonne shakes but needs a workout. Well, then talk to them about BOD. And there's 3 options, you know. I would always lead with, and let me just say, so I don't say it 1,000 times, always lead with the challenge pack. Always, always, always. But when you get the cost objection, it's okay to fall back on, hey, I'm going to use the example of the person who already has shake or doesn't like shakes or likes to chew their food or whatever objection you get to the shakes after you've sent the challenge pack info, right? Then offer them Beachbody On Demand and lead with the annual Beachbody On Demand because, again, it's the best value for them. But you know what? We have 2 other options. We have the 6-month and even the 3-month that is only $38. And if at the end of the day, that's literally the only thing that person is able to purchase, or they're so skeptical or nervous about it and that's all they're willing to try right now, well then great, get them in on a 3-month BOD, get them into Tribe, get them seeing what this whole community and vibe is like, get them falling in love with the programs, and guess what, a couple weeks in, you can let them know, hey, there's all these other things that you can try if you're ready, if you're curious. They'll see and try people checking in with their shakes, checking in with their Energize, checking in with their Recover or whatever. And rather than you not having any commission in your pocket, you have a little bit with a much better chance that they're going to turn around and add Shakeology down the road, or they're going to turn around and add an Energize or something else. Or flip it around, the person who goes to the gym, or they go to CrossFit. The CrossFit people are the hardest for me. Or they go to Orange Theory. I get so mad. I keep driving down the hill and seeing this sign for an Orange Theory coming soon right in my neighborhood. And I'm like, no. But you know what? We still have so many other products and more coming down the pike that we're going to hear about at Summit that I can use when I'm invited that girl who's all about Orange Theory and she goes, nope, I do Orange Theory. I can go, well, wait a minute. Do you have something that energizes you before your workout? Do you have a meal replacement? Do you have this? Do you have that? You know, do you need help with your nutrition? Like, we have so many things that we can offer them, and not just Energize, Recover, Shakeology, but we also have the greens. We also have the beach bars. I mean, pretty much every single mom I know is grabbing bars at Target, you guys. Like, I know I could do a much better job being like, hey, I've got this really rad bar that I eat every single day. And when I don't, like today, I'm so bad. I stopped at Starbucks and got a perfect bar, which is way more calories, way more sugar, and way more expensive. So people don't think about that because you might buy one perfect bar and blah, 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 and you show them a box of the beach bars and it costs more because they're getting more. So think about this. Talk about more of what you use when you're in these conversations with people. Because again, when you are trying to get somebody in the door, if you stop, which again, I'm guilty at myself, with a no to the challenge pack and you just let the conversation go, yeah, they may say yes down the road. And typically those people do at some point. But if you can start them off now with something, you have a little bit of money in your pocket now. They're started off now with something. They're on their journey on some level, some degree. And now they're going to get all this exposure to everything else we have to offer. And a lot of the things that they said no to, it's going to be like, you know, when you're thinking about buying a car and you keep seeing that car, like they're going to start seeing Shakeology everywhere. And they're going to start seeing people talk about the chocolate peanut butter one and they love Reese's. And they're going to be like, dang, I actually do need that. Like that mom keeps talking about how that's so good. I'm sorry, I always use the mom example. It's just because mom brain. But you get the point. So I really want to change our whole thought process with a no. Doesn't just mean a not right now. How about a no? Let's like figure out if there's something we can help them with. And where that's going to happen is asking more questions in the conversation. Another thing I'm guilty about is inviting them to a challenge group. They say, sure, I want more info. I send them more info. In that more info back to them, I need to add them some more questions about how is your nutrition? You know, what sort of workouts do you like? Those two questions alone, you're going to find out if they already do some sort of workout program or not. And you're going to find out if they need help with their nutrition or not. You know, I get a lot of people who respond back with like, I really need help with my nutrition. I know what I should be eating, but I'm having a really hard time because I'm so busy. Boom, right there. You can talk about bars. You can talk about Shakeology. Like you have so much right there. Or, you know, what do you like to do for workouts? Most of the time, the response when people actually answer that question for me, it's like, well, I don't have time to work out. And I'm just so tired and so busy. I just can't even at the end of the day try to work out. Bingo, they could use Energize. And the last thing I want to say on this topic, and then I'll let, you know, Kim wants to add in her thoughts on it as well, is I heard this in a group and I thought it was a genius idea. When somebody says yes, let's just say they say yes to the challenge pack and it's, you know, Shakeology and BOD. Let's just use that one for example. And maybe you've had that much better conversation back and forth with them and they are tired and they are stressed out from work and they're so busy and they're so overwhelmed and they're just now going to start these workouts and they haven't been working out. Whatever the case may be, I'm just painting the picture. What if you sent them a share cart or a BB link and you included, whichever one you use, and you included Energize, and you were like, hey, I just sent you your link to purchase, and I threw in my other favorite product, Energize, because you really see how hard it is for you, like how you're just lacking energy so much. I want you to try it. If you check it out and you decide you don't want it, you can totally take it out of your cart and stick with what we talked about. It's just an idea, you guys, and I don't want you to shy away from it because I've heard a lot of coaches talking about doing this and talking about how they've had a really high success rate with people going, oh, sweet, thanks. And I can't tell you how many times recently I've signed people up with just the basic challenge pack because I'm already like, oh, shoot, I don't want them to feel like I'm selling them all this stuff. And then a couple weeks in, they're like, I want Energize, I want Recover, I want this, I want that. And they're spending more money because they're buying everything a la carte when you could have saved them money by just telling them about it. Or if you're afraid to do the add a cart thing, then just talk to them about it. They say just about the challenge pack. Let them know the whole catalog of what we have to offer. We're putting together a new PDF that's going to include more of these things to help you guys as a tool and as a guide when you're in these conversations with people too. So just some ideas. And if you guys have ideas about it, I want you to share also. And we want to start celebrating not just challenge packs and success, but all of it. Because at the end of the day, if you help somebody get started on the journey with any little piece that they need, that should be celebrated. So I hope that this really encourages you guys just to get out there, make this fun, and help people at whatever level they need help with.
No, I think that it's kind of a mind shift, right? Because it's like that feeling of like, well, I'm not going to get Success Club points, which is what Beachbody is going to highlight. But at the end of the day, you're helping a person join something that you know is positive and is effective. So something we've been kind of brainstorming today is, and something we've been in brainstorming for a long time is, we are going to up the ante in Tribe. Just tell me and I'll come get it once it's done. Thanks, Mommy. Tribe is, we are going to just keep pouring into that. So any single person you sell anything to, like Energize, hey, do you need some extra accountability? I know you work out at the gym, but maybe it'll be great for you to like come and check in this is our community, and there's a prep group in there. Because the more they see the community, the more they see like, oh wow, this really is rad, the better it's going to be. And I think that some of the things that I think about are you all checking into Tribe every day? I know you might not be like, oh, I don't have any clients in there today, but you will. And so get into the habit of constantly checking in there, and not only checking in there, but checking in with every product you're using. You know, I know Julie's really good about saying like, oh, I got my Power Greens today and my shake and my Energize. We need to be the same thing. We need to be the product of the product. And I'm guilty of it, not telling every single thing I eat, but like showing those containers and showing, you know, all those things. And then I think what's rad is, and we've kind of gone away from this, but every Sunday showcasing all the leaderboards from our challenge group. So that way they're like, oh, well, how do I get in on the app? Oh, well, you know, Shakeology or Home Direct of some nature would be like a really great way for you to join us. They're only going to want to be a part of it more and more. And I think that that's, you know, how many people have we seen that introduce themselves in Tribe, and they come right out of the gate and they're like, hey, this is who I am. I'm going through this, and this. This is the this is the program I'm starting. I would love the accountability. And how many people do you see on those posts that are like, hey, I'll join you. Hey, I'm in. Hey, I've been through that. That's what we want to, we want that kind of excitement to be for that person. They're like, wow, I just spent like $40 and I just gained like 800 friends and meal plans and like a friend who's going to do this program with me. Like, that's rad. That's a really something else that's extraordinary. And so the more we pour into it, the better it will be, right? Like, we can't just expect it just to kind of keep going. So I encourage you, you know, I know we've got Tribe coaches set up for the week, for the next couple of weeks, but, you know, don't be afraid. Go put all your transformations in those albums. Be raw and real in there, and make sure you're checking in every day. And yes, agreed. You might not have all the people in there today, but you will. And you just never know who you can encourage with your check-in. You know, when you say like out loud, like, hey, today you know, this is total random, but like, today I finalized my divorce, and it was really hard, and I wanted to eat my way through my feelings, but instead I decided like, I'm going to go and I'm going to press play on Shalene because she's so inspiring and so whatever. You know darn well 10 people are going to be like, girl, I've been there. And that's that's real life. And so we just need to be the influencers of the good things. My poor mom. It's fine. It's fine. Dear Hudson. Waking up coyote since 2015, 16. Anyway, that's all I have to say on that. I think I'm excited for the PDF, and those images that I shared in the team page 2 days ago, those are really great. I was afraid to use them because they talk about all these other products and not challenge pack. So, you know, mind shift. But if you were to use it and be like, here's some really great other options that we have. And again, if you're talking more and more about the products in your stories and in your posts, people are going to want to know. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would say at least 9 of my messages a day are about pixie dust and how do I get my hands on it. Like that's if it's an everyday thing, people are going to want to be a part of it, and they're going to see it as like, wow, this must really make a difference.
And like with those images that Kim was mentioning, like, yeah, they point out all the other things, but because they have all the prices next to them, people can see like, wow, for a challenge pack, I'm getting all of this, obviously discounted because it's a bundle. Or if I buy it a la carte, it's like this. It's like anything else. I had to change my mindset on that too, because it's like, I'll use Beauty Counter, for example, because I'm a Beauty Counter person now. And like, their stuff's expensive. And same thing. It's like I could get this, this, and this all together, or these three things separate, and it's going to cost me way more. And when you're selling makeup, it's like nobody has a problem just sending you over an image telling you how much their makeup costs, or, you know, people who sell nails. I feel like sometimes because what we sell, it makes it feel a little bit different, or I don't know. But we really also need to change our culture away from being afraid of the fact that we have something to sell. And I know that's something we talk about pretty much every team call, but really check your mindset when you are sending those invites, because yes, we have something to sell, but it's something you're proud of and something that you back and something that you live out every single day. And I do believe that if you were selling something else, if you were selling makeup, if you were selling shampoo or whatever, that it doesn't feel as like scary for some reason. And I think it's because what we have to sell requires work. It requires somebody to get out of their comfort zone. And a lot of times you're talking to somebody who needs that change so badly in their life. And that's where it makes it a little bit harder to feel like you're selling them something. But what you're selling them can drastically change their life more than, you know, makeup or shampoo. Not to put down those other companies, I'm just using it as an example. But the other thing, is there any questions on any of that before I shift gears into our next topic for tonight? And I'd love to hear, you know, as you guys use that, sorry, Tara, as you guys do this, I'd love to hear from you guys. Talk about it on the team page. Talk about how, you know, how this is working for you, how it's not working for you, you know, the good, the bad, share all of it in the team page so that we can help each other through this kind of culture shift that we're trying to create.
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to touch on what you just said. I feel like I've heard so many times like to ask a lot of questions, and after Summit last year, I remember thinking like, gosh, I need to ask more questions to these people. But I feel like that's something that if we don't tell ourselves every single day, we get back into the habit of kind of assuming that the people you're talking to need it exactly the way you needed it. And I've had a lot of people recently tell me, like, I just don't want to do the group. And I was like almost shocked, like, you want the stuff, but you were saying no all this time because you thought you had to be in the group. Like, so kind of thinking about like each person and asking like what exactly they're looking for and what their struggles would be, like if being in a group is something that's that's keeping them from doing it. Like that's something they don't necessarily have to do. And just kind of remembering that not everyone is going to want it exactly the way you needed it. And it's something that I tell myself, but then I always forget. I just kind of assume people like, I just assume a lot more than I should. And talking about Energize, like I started talking to somebody about Energize and she was like, oh my gosh, like you totally hooked me when you said that like you were lacking energy. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, doesn't everybody lack energy? Like this is an aha moment for you. So like just thinking about all the products and what other people, you know, even if they get a challenge pack, like they need that Energize. Like don't just stop at the challenge pack because you're like, oh, I sold them on that. Like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to bother them. Like they need it, and like you need to be passionate about the reasons why they need it. It's not going to be about money. They're going to thank you for it.
Yes. And that was another thing that the coaches who have been doing that, where they've been just putting it in the cart or including it in the link, have been saying is that the customers are saying, thank you, you know, like, thank you for telling me about your other favorite product. And I don't think we need to think about it that way rather than thinking about it as like upselling them. I heard it called upsharing, which I think is way better than thinking of it as upselling. So.
The only other thing I was going to mention on all of this is I was actually going to show you guys, just because I feel like sometimes we don't even think to look, but I was going to show you. Here you go, baby. Did you go poop?
Thank you.
Hudson, freaking
What is this?
not for right now, but
What is it?
it doesn't matter. It's called Pop Rocks. Hudson, why? Okay, so when you sign into your coach account and you go under training and you go into a business product training, because I think a lot of times we don't even know what things are. I'm a YouTuber, so I will go to YouTube and YouTube 2B Mindset. And then if someone's like, hey, what's that 2B Mindset thing all about? I'll be like, oh, here, and I'll send the YouTube video. That's something That I do that a lot, or like or like Shakeology. Here's this YouTube video, or if we're talking about a specific program, here's that. If we're talking about BOD, I'm a big YouTuber, so I send a lot of those things. But if you ever want, toolkits on a specific program, there is so many. Like here's a video. Okay. Thank you. Okay. My goodness. Yes, that's fine. Yes. So there's like, this is BOD, getting started with, if people want to know how to use Beachbody on demand. Just know that, guys, all these tools exist for you. I think sometimes we forget. And if you ever, when you download BB Links, okay, Carter, stop. Thank you. No, you're not. BB Links is full of training tools and has, product, same exact stuff. I know. So just know that those options are out there. Any questions about that?
This was training and then product training. That's what it was.
Guys, can you please? Thank you. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying it's training in your coach's office and then product training, correct? And then that's where you found all that. I was trying to write it down, but
Sorry, yeah. Let me show you. Let me look again.
wanted to make
Yeah. So if you go to training and then product training,
okay.
and then if you keep going here, where did I go? Where did you guys go? If you keep going in here, Kate, Cart, can you go into the playroom? Can you go back into the family room, please? Thank you. There's personal development in here. There's business training. So like if you want to learn about any of it, skills training, coach opportunity training, like they're going to teach you how to best do any of these things. And all these trainings that are in here, like compensation training, if you want to learn about more on money, this would be a great place to start. But yes, these all exist in our coach office. And I think that sometimes we go to Beachbody Champions, or we wait for a team call, or we, wait till something pops up that's exciting. But the truth is they go through this a lot, and they update trainings, and they make it to today. And so you're going to get quality stuff right there for your taking.
Okay, I have a question. You said on the team page to go to the challenge transformations and upload those
In Tribe.
How do we do that?
Not in the team page, in Tribe. So where's Tribe? Where's my?
And while she's looking for that, so with that screen she was just on that showed all the product training stuff, she was mentioning YouTube, but you can pull videos right from there. So say you click on Morning Meltdown, they already have a sizzle video there. So when you start talking about Morning Meltdown and somebody says, oh, I want to know more about that, you can send them that link. And it's better than a YouTube link because it's not going to link to other nasty, negative things about Beachbody. And they're also going to be coming out with 2 more sizzle videos for Morning Meltdown, which we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes.
YouTube leads to nasty things about Beachbody.
Anytime you plug in, like if you go to YouTube, I swear, without fail, it's like why I quit YouTube or why I quit Beachbody will be the other video that shows up when you're trying to send them, a video on like Shakeology. All of a sudden the video next to it will be like the worst video ever. And you're like, no, that's not really what I was going for. That doesn't always happen, but without fail, I swear it does. So in Facebook, when you go to Trifecta, there is under photos, under albums, we have all the different albums for, well, so far, I need to probably finish. I think I'm missing a couple. But there's Shift Shop T20, T25. So there's all these albums in here so people can upload their transformation. So like, if you were ever to like have a client and they're like, hey, I'm really thinking about Hammer and Chisel, you'd be like, oh, cool. Well, let me show you, like, you could tag them in one of these on somebody's transformation or, just stuff like that. It's just note. And then underneath all of them, there's like a sizzle video for each of those programs so people know what what they're talking about.
Okay.
Since we're here, Andy, if you want, I might as well just keep this open and you can.
you just saying you want us to post more like of our daily workouts and stuff in Tribe?
Yes.
Okay.
I would love to see all of your, even if you're posting in a challenge group, I would love to see everybody post in Tribe, because it's kind of a rad way when you think about it. It's like a really cool way that we all get to kind of see what we're all doing, because eventually you're not going to be in our challenge groups, right? You're going to be running your own. So like Tribe's a way for us all to kind of stay connected. And I'm just nosy and want to know what everybody's doing. So there's that.
I have a really random side note. Do you see the pants that she's wearing in her picture?
Yeah.
Those are the new Beachbody pants.
Ooh.
Nice. So Beachbody's launching a new line that's coming out at Summit. That's what Tara's referring to. So we can all get that outfit. I'm bringing money for some new shoes. I bought the shoes last year and I love them, but now they're a year old. So yeah, just another side note. All right, are we ready to talk Morning Meltdown?
Do you want me to take this off?
I don't care.
You can. I'm going to go help my mom, but
Okay.
maybe just so you guys know, this group is live. This is what it looks like.
This is the
called-
info group.
This is an info group for 100 days.
Okay. So just so that we don't confuse things, the next group we're running is Fight to Thrive. So the info group we've been using, for those of you who've been running groups with us for the last several months, we've been using that same group, and then we rebrand it when we're infoing for a new group. So right now it's Fight to Thrive. It's going to start prep week on Monday, and then it's going to be a 3-week group where we're putting together a hybrid calendar of Jericho workouts, Beachbody exclusives, maybe a little bit of hammer and chisel, just some random stuff. But we have this idea to use some of Jericho's workouts without doing just all of Core to Force, because up until 80 Day Obsession, where every workout was new and exciting for 80 days, as you've seen, the program's repeated. So I feel like now to go back and do a program where it repeats, just for me, I feel like, ooh, I don't want to do that. So we're going to pull our favorites from Core to Force. And Jericho has 2 Beachbody On Demand exclusives, and then some other fun workouts. And the whole point is to get people excited about Jericho's style of workouts, because she's launching the next program. So a few things. First of all, who watched the video in Beachbody Champions last week when Kim Carver went over all the ins and outs? Did anybody?
I watched some of it.
Okay, I'm going to share it into the team page, because I don't want to spend the rest of the team call going over what you can watch in that video, but I want to highly encourage you guys to watch it. It's going to talk about the price points of the challenge packs, and all kinds of really great stuff. They're going to be doing a couple different not test groups. I forget what they're calling them, but test groups, maybe they're calling them test groups, but where you can get in as a coach or a new customer, kind of like they did with Transform 20, where there's a window when you can start purchasing as either a coach or a new customer signing on as a coach, and you can get into her first group. So in that group, it's going to be geared for coaches who want to build their businesses. So it's not just going to be about the fitness. It's also going to be strategies on how to promote this workout and your business going forward, which is going to be really rad. So first item of business, plan to purchase whatever pack you decide to purchase the first day that it's available. And you're going to want one. There's a lot of different options. So as coaches, now we can buy challenge packs. If your BOD is going to be up that month, perfect. If not, you can buy a completion pack. Basically, you can get, re-up your Shakeology order and save a bunch of money and bundle it with the Morning Meltdown and get all of the stuff for it with the VIP access. It's definitely worth every penny, you guys. I really want to emphasize that when something new comes out, even though it might cost you a couple dollars as a coach, you want to get in on it, because if you're a business building coach, you don't want to get behind a launch and be one of the last people to do it. You want to be one of the first people to do it, and you're going to want to be in on that first VIP group. So it's going to be like every other new launch, where there's going to be that date where coaches and new customers who order as a coach and sign on as a coach can get in on it. Then there's going to be a date where it's on sale for everybody, for customers and everybody. The actual date that the workouts will be available is July 29th. So I tentatively plan to start our challenge group that we can run as a team. You guys are welcome to run however you would like. But I plan to run it a week after. So we have a week lag from when they load, just so we don't have any weird things with like, oh, it's going to be at 9 a.m. or anything like that, because honestly, I don't know, and I don't want to have to worry about it. I'd rather just lag 1 week, get a few more people into the group, and then kick off. So when we're talking about a launch, be strategic like that. If you don't want to run a huge group with the whole team, that's totally okay, but plan out your timing based on the dates that corporate has set, because it's going to help you. Big time. So with that info group, feel free to use it whether or not you're going to run the group with us, because we're going to be pouring into that group starting really soon with as much Morning Meltdown stuff we can get. The thing that is going to set this workout apart from anything we've ever done is the live DJ. I don't know if you guys knew about that. And the program, one thing that Kim Carver in that video said was that it's not necessarily meant to be done in 100 days. So you don't want your challengers to feel like they're getting in on this, massive challenge where if they get to day 25 and they skip a day, they like ruined it, right? We really want to make sure our customers and future customers know that the goal is to press play every day. And on the day that it doesn't happen, you just get up the next day and you press play and you keep going. We really want to help people create that momentum in their life of the healthy lifestyle. And that was a big part of what they're trying to accomplish with Morning Meltdown. So it's 100 workouts, but not necessarily done in 100 days. That was one thing that I learned, because in my head, I thought, oh, it's like a 100-day challenge. It is, but it's not. So really be careful when you're in conversations with people that, your excitement and all of that is going to be really guiding the conversation, but let them know that there's a modifier. It's not about being perfect for 100 days. It's about pressing play and getting into a morning routine. One thing that's coming with the packs, with any sort of pack you purchase, whether it's the accessories pack or any of it, is these like morning mantras in this book, which I think is really cool, that Jericho had her hand in making herself. I just thought that was really fun. And I just think it's going to be one of the biggest launches we've done, in my opinion, because it has a lot of different fun things that we've never done before. So gearing up for that. None of this is going to come into play until July. So right now we have a huge opportunity, you guys, to get people in now, knowing that just because they buy now doesn't mean, we're going to like turn around and do a bait and switch next month. They'd be like, oh, by the way, you have to buy something else. But when you're talking to people now, you could talk about Morning Meltdown and talk about getting them started now. Talk about getting them, maybe doing a round of Clean Week and 21-Day Fix, or these programs that we use as more like beginner programs to get them ready for this 100 workout challenge, which I just said it's not a 100 workout challenge, but you get what I'm saying. So don't feel like you're upselling somebody next month by selling to them now, because the reality is, as we all know, you get into these groups and you want more. You want that next exciting thing, and you want that thing that's going to carry you. And if there's one thing I can say about all of this is, when you truly fall in love with these challenge groups and these products, you want to be in the next program. You want to be doing that next best thing. And once they have a challenge pack, whatever they add on is not going to be very expensive for them. It's going to be something they want. Also, from a business mindset, think about it from the perspective of like a gym, then they have to add on this or that. They have to up their, the price of their monthly buy-in or whatever. Like, I'm just tired of even myself holding myself back from things like this, because I'm so worried about making other people spend money. The point, we're not trying to make other people spend money. We're trying to help people with their health and fitness. And this is something that's going to be exciting and carry them all the way to the fall and beyond, you guys. It's going to be really, really, really rad. And whatever they talk about at Summit that they're going to launch, I'm sure is going to piggyback in right into this. So we have a massive opportunity right now to capitalize on this, and I want to hit the ground running now. So whatever you're inviting to now, great. let them know when you're in these conversations that what's coming next month is going to blow their minds and that they're going to want in on that as well. And that you're saving them a spot for that. But right now we're getting them started. Do you guys have any questions with any of that so far?
I have a comment.
Mhm.
The thing that I was kind of thinking all along was that when I was watching her do these workouts, it seemed like it was like they were going to be very hard. And one of the things that I learned is that there's a modifier, but there's also a modifier for the modifier in her videos. So there's like a very, very like taking it down to like very easy moves. And then they're only like 20 to 30 minutes, I think. So you could double up if you missed days. That was kind of the point of that.
Love it. And I love this whole concept of trying to get people to do things in the morning. That's why they put that word in it. It's very strategy based to help people with that one thing in their life that's so hard to do. You know, how many people do you talk to who are like, oh, I just can't get up before work? There's no way. And then you get them in a challenge group and they're trying to do it after work and you see them kind of falling off and you're like, if you would just do it in the morning, you know. It took me
though when you see the people who all of a sudden are.
Yeah,
like,
and then
it off, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, I'm taking the plunge, I'm working out this morning, and then they're like, why have I been waiting so long to make this happen?
So a question for our clients that are currently PM workouts, how are we going to handle them? Are we going to push them to work out in the morning?
No, I mean, if they never want to work out in the morning, then that's on
They
there.
can still do it. Okay.
Oh,
It's a question.
It's not like a just morning. They're just trying to say that the science behind getting your brain working in the morning or getting and the best way to get your brain working in the morning is by getting endorphins and energy.
I just asked because I had someone already ask if they could do it since it said morning meltdown.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Totally.
No, that's a really good question. They can still do it at any time.
Perfect.
But
Thank
it does
you.
come with like a really rad book. I don't know if you guys have seen like but it's like a really nice book and it has quotes and it has like encouragement and it has, you know, ideas of how to live a healthy life and it's got everything. It's pretty cool. You know, I like journals, so.
I really like the idea that this doesn't have like a set day thing, like you were talking about, Andy, that like it's not set up to where you have to do it within 100 days. It's just like 100 workouts essentially in place. Because that's one of the things that like I'm did 80 day. And that's one of the things I struggle with. If I miss a day, I feel like my whole week is a wreck. And I'm trying to catch up, and it's specific to days, and it's specifically in order. And then, like, if I don't have an hour, I can't swap on, you know what I mean? Because, like, some are 36, some's 45, some's an hour. So, like, that's good to know that this one's not drastically, you know what I mean, like, placed. Because, anyway, so I just wanted to say that. And I also was going to say what Tara said about, I've been watching some of the people that are doing, like, the testing. And a lot of them have mentioned that like the modifier has the modifier. So if you're not doing so great, which they said they aren't, so I guess that they're really hardcore workouts.
Which I love because you can also tell somebody like, look, you have something to work up to. You know, we all have something to work up to, which I love because you know, I feel like we do typically talk to people more who need more of the modifying and are beginners, but you also want to be able to talk to that athlete where you can be like, look, this workout's legit. Like, yeah, I know you love CrossFit and you just told me that it's so expensive you can't afford it anymore. You're going to like this workout. It's going to be difficult for you. I have one CrossFitter who I love when she checks in and says how hard the workouts were. Because I'm like, see, because I bugged her for a really long time trying to convince her that these are legit workouts. So I love that there's that huge range. And I also love that you touched on, you know, for the sake of our challenge group, there will be a start date and an end date because there always is. But I've seen this trend a lot, especially lately in our challenge groups, where you see people fall off and then they say, I'm going to start on day one again on Monday. And I'm really trying to, behind the scenes with my specific clients and also in the group, to say, no, you're not starting over. You just keep going. Who cares if you're doing Friday's workout and now it's Tuesday? Like, just press play. Just keep going, because I've seen that the people who started 21 Day Fix 30 times and never got to day 21, they're the people struggling the most. Like, we needed to tell them, just keep going. Press play on something today. Wherever you were, That's what you're doing today. Wherever you left off, just keep going. Because it's this mental block that happens when they can't get through the 21 days because they kept starting over 30 times. Like, I'm like really fired up about that because I feel for these women who've done that. I did that my whole life. And I feel like, no, now's the time to knock that off. Like, we're not starting over anymore. We're going forward. We're not going backward. Sorry, total tangent, but
Yeah.
He's got poop in his.
I don't know.
Change it.
It's funny you say that because I was like actually talking to Kim about starting 80 Day Over because I did so bad like midway through, and then Kim was like, absolutely not. She's like,
because you didn't do bad. You did it, right? Maybe you didn't do it in
And
80
that's-
days.
I
but you
think
did it.
because
I know,
and
but
if you're-
that's what I was saying is people like me that like this calendar in front of me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed this one, so I got to make it up, and I'm trying to make it up, and I'm behind, and then I didn't get it. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, there's. Just
And then your mind is all negative. I failed. I didn't do it right. Da, 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 da. No. I want to
But then
change.
if you start
it.
over, you feel accomplished. But I get what you're saying, 100%.
I think that we have to help people get over perfectionism because the fact is it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to eat 100% according to your meal plan. You're never going to have a perfect day. You're never going to have a perfect kid that just cooperates. Your mornings are never going to be perfect. The workout's never going to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect. Jesus came and did that, and he's the only one. But just kidding. But that's a different sermon for a different day. But the truth is if we don't lead the pack, and that's why it's so essential as coaches that we share our hard days. We share that, like, man, I pushed play for 15 minutes today and I said, I can't, I'm done. I'm toast. But tomorrow I'll be right back here and I'll be right back trying to do the same things. We have to be the example and not be afraid to fail. Is really the only thing we need to ever be afraid of is quitting. Quitting is where that is what we need to be afraid of. Failing is fantastic. Failing means we're trying and we're learning and we're growing and we fail forward and we fail hard and we fall short, and it's okay because we pick ourselves up again. And that's life, right? Like, we're gonna fail every day, all day long. Just a big freaking epic fail. And that's okay, because guess what? Tomorrow morning there's new mercies and they're waiting for me to pick myself back up and show up and show up and show up. And so when we show that to our people, they're like, wow, she had bonbons today. Like, I had bonbons today. I'm going to be okay. Like, she's a health coach. What is she doing in the ice cream aisle? I'm there a lot, by the way. But we have to be real and raw, and that's how we change lives, you guys. Because as much as we all want to see the scale go down and we want to see the inches fall off, the fact of the matter is our lives will change every single day, and our diets will have good days and bad days. But the more we just keep showing up and keep doing the things and keep trying, we will make a difference in people's lives. End of story.
Preach.
I mean, I have 4 kids that need to go to bed like 25 minutes ago, but it's fine. Failing forward.
Hey, Andy, when did you guys say you were going to launch this 100-day meltdown?
So the info group is launched. The challenge group tentatively will be whatever the date is, the Monday following July 29 would be when we would tentatively start prep, because that gives us a week of lag from when the workouts actually launch. What's that?
Is something about buying the filler or whatever that's called? Like, not the challenge pack.
Oh, so there's challenge packs, which come with BOD. So if you're
So August 5th?
Completion pack? Is that what you're talking about?
Completion pack, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's say, like my BOD is January, so I'm not going to be buying a challenge pack, but I might buy a completion pack and save myself some money on my performance line that I already buy, and I would my husband drinks it all the time, so we always need more. But if you're the only person who drinks it and you don't want to get ahead, you could cancel your current subscription and buy a completion pack, and then you're saving money because you're getting all of the stuff from Morning Meltdown and what you would already purchase. Or there is a standalone.
Cancel that?
What's
I
that?
never even thought of that. So we as coaches could call and cancel our subscription just to be able to buy again in a challenge pack?
Well, you wouldn't want to cancel like your BOD. No, I wouldn't do that, because then you're kind of like, if you're like me and your BOD's in January and it's July.
Well, mine's in June.
I mean,
So-
technically, yeah, you could. Hmm.
It doesn't affect my business if I do it, obviously, like this back to back.
No.
Don't you have to get Shakeology every month to be able to stay a coach?
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes. So make sure if you do any funky stuff with your orders that you don't mess it up. You have to have that 90 PV from your HD order. So if you cancel and order again, you're good. But don't like let a few weeks lag, because it will mess up your Success Club and your rank and Team Cycle bonuses and all that. But if you did it all in one day, it would be fine because your 90 PV would be there. I mean, we get ahead in product in my house because Eric's he doesn't always drink it 7 days a week. And then sometimes he's having Energize like 16 times a day and to survive. So I just order more, but that's because we're both using it and eventually it all gets used. That's for sure.
You have to have spent 90 PV, which is dollars essentially, a month to stay a coach.
In order to be in Success Club.
But
So,
90 PV is not necessarily $90 because
not necessarily, no. 90 PV is how much Shakeology is worth. But a dollar for dollar is actually a little bit more.
But you don't have to do that if you're not going to hit Success Club.
If you're not hitting Success Club, then you have to have at least 50 PV to be considered active.
But you can get that from other things besides Shakeology. Like if you wanted to do 3 boxes of Beach Bars a month, or Daily Sunshine and a box of Beach Bars, or Energize. I think you can mix and match.
Yeah.
Just has to be within 30 days of each other?
Yes. There will also be an accessories bundle, which means, let's say you don't want to do anything funky with your current orders and you don't want to buy more and end up with a little bit more in your stash. You just want Morning Meltdown and the book and whatever, you can get just that. And I should be able to tell you these prices off the top of my head because I've seen them, but I can't. But I will share that video that has them all. I want to say it's like around $50, maybe 60. Might have been like 58. And of course you're getting 25% off as a coach. And yeah.
And we can buy it like that.
Yes, you can buy just that. What's that, Emily?
I don't feel like I ever got my answer. When do we do that? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
When? Is that your question?
When does that launch? Because you were saying to jump on that as soon as it happens. You don't know.
Because I never said.
Okay.
Because I'm afraid I'm going to misquote it.
Okay,
I had every intention of having all of this info written down for this call. So sorry. But I believe it's July 1st. July 1 is when coaches and any new coaches who sign up will be able to buy in. Jackie, you're doing this like you know for sure. Are you confirming that I'm correct?
It's correct. It's already on the website on our coach. You can see it. You're welcome. It's all the way to the 15th. It says.
Sorry, go ahead.
It says July 1st to the 15th.
Yes. And then after that, customers can buy just as customers. So right now, let me end with this so I don't take up all of your night. This is my strategy, and this is what I encourage you guys to do. Start talking about Morning Meltdown in your stories. Start breadcrumbing about it. Whatever that looks like. Some days maybe you're just talking about it. Some days maybe you're snagging whatever photos you can find on Instagram from people who are in the actual test group who have talked about it. Stealing some moves because you can go and look at their page and see what sort of crazy fun moves they're doing and do them yourself. Say, hey, these are some of the moves that this next program's going to have, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really good at making this stuff up on the fly. Can you tell? The point is start breadcrumbing now. Start talking about it. Create the buzz now. Start inviting to that info group now. Get people excited about it. Get people in a challenge group, whether it's Fight to Thrive or whatever you have planned right now, so that they know that they're not just getting into a 3-week or a 4-week or a 6-week little challenge. Like, you've got them for the long haul. I think that's been really effective in my conversations lately, is letting people know, like, look, I'm inviting you to a 3-week challenge, but just so you know, my help continues on that. And there's something really rad coming in just a couple months. So leave that for them so that they know. Also, be talking to any current customers. Let them know it's coming. They're going to be getting all the emails from Team Beachbody that you guys all get also, that talk about, new products and new programs and stuff. So they might have seen it. But be the first person to tell them, like, hey, this new program's coming, and I want you to know that they have some really cool bundles around it so that we can, bundle your Shakeology with it and you can get in on it. And we're going to be hosting a really cool challenge group for it. So this is what we're going to be doing at the end of July, beginning of August. Get their excitement around it now and start building your list. So anytime there's a launch, I always literally on a piece of paper start writing down all of the people who have said yes, they want in. So on the day that it actually launches and becomes available, I can just send out links to them. So the more buzz and the more people you talk to now for it, write down that list. Right now, your focus should be on breadcrumbing and talking about it in your stories and talking to your current customers so that they are yeses for it, because they will have to purchase something to get access to it early. It's just like every other program we've launched on Beachbody On Demand. This will be early VIP access. It will not launch to everybody's Beachbody On Demand for a few months. And that's another date I should know off the top of my head. It's sometime in the fall. And you guys, I really want to encourage you to share this with confidence with your current customers. Don't fall back on the, oh, don't worry, you'll get it for free in the fall. No. Because you want them to be excited and you want them to have a little skin in the game. I can tell you, every single time we've done a challenge group for the people who have BOD and decided to wait till it launched, that challenge group never has the hype or the excitement that the original challenge group has for the people who got in on the VIP early access. And the people who got in on the VIP early access always get the better results because they're more excited and hyped up about it. So think about it from that standpoint rather than you're just telling your customer to buy something new. Because again, I'm going to use Beautycounter as another example. I bought all kinds of Beautycounter, and guess what? My friend's trying to get me to buy more Beautycounter. She doesn't feel bad about it. I don't feel weird about it. She has something to sell that I want to buy. And that's how you should think about it too when you're talking about this. So right now, breadcrumbing on your stories, talking to your current customers, get them excited, write their names down, the people who say yes, have a maybe list so you can follow up with them as it gets closer. They'll be watching you on social media. So the more hype you create on social media, the more they're going to want in. And start inviting to that info group because we'll be pouring information into it very soon. And then as it gets closer, all of your invites should be specifically to Morning Meltdown. That's going to be my plan, and it's going to be really fun, you guys. So, hoorah. I don't know where that came from. I'm tired.
Speaking of
What's that?
Are they affiliated?
What?
Beachbody and Beautycounter?
No. One of my it's just the latest thing I bought. That's why I keep using it. One of my longtime clients now does Beautycounter, and she has been one of my clients forever and ever and ever and ever. So I'm buying her really expensive Beautycounter because I feel like I should support her business. She's always supported mine.
No, I don't mean because you said that. I just mean like someone had messaged me also and was saying that it was affiliated with it.
No, not that I know of.
Beachbody too, and they said that like they're like sister companies or something. That's what the girl told me.
Weird. Not that I know of. I think that'd be cool. I think it's a really cool company, but
she already does Beachbody, and because I was trying to get her to sign up, and she said she is already a part of it, like with the sister company, Beautycounter. But
maybe she was just trying to get you to sign up for Beautycounter. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's crazy if she's lying.
Tricky.
That's what she told me. 100%.
Don't believe it.
It's so funny.
That's called a bait and switch.
Yes, it is.
And I would eventually figure out she was spinning, right?
Yeah, I would think.
Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to message her. Not meanly, just asking her for more information on how it's affiliated so she can try to prove it to me.
That's funny. I don't know. All right, girls. Well, I appreciate you all being on tonight. Is there anything else? Okay, one more quick thing. Two things. I have two little bits of homework. And I'm going to ask you girls next week if you did it. Watch the video in Beachbody Champions about Morning Meltdown and go into your back office where Kim was showing, go to the product toolkit and click on all things Morning Meltdown so that you know about it. So you have some talking points about it and you can create excitement because you're knowledgeable about it. I need to do that second part myself because I have not. So, and it's fun to kind of see like how they branded it. I think they just did a really good job with this one. It doesn't look as Beachbody. Not that there's anything wrong with it looking super Beachbody, but I just feel like they like came into this millennium with their marketing. Right? You guys know what I mean? It's cute. Okay, I'm going to stop jabbering now. Should we take a quick picture? Oh, we lost Kimberly. Picture? Can you hear me, Kim? All right. Everybody smile. Yay. Okay. All right, girls.
Thanks, Andy.
No problem. Have a great week.
Yeah.
You too. Good night.